All right, so I've just received this Goodyear pneumatic hose reel and getting ready to mount it on a 6x6 post right here in my pole barn above my compressor. But you may have seen some reviews that say it's difficult to mount this properly because the holes on the bracket are behind the reel and difficult to get to. Can't really see it on that side, but maybe this view down here will help. So the truth is, you know, the packaging does come with some lag screws, and it may seem like it's not gonna be possible to get these things mounted. But what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna find a scrap piece of paper I had laying around. I'm gonna set my hose reel on the piece of paper. I'm gonna mark it with the location of the holes to make a template. And the length of these lag screws definitely will let me get them in. I might have to pull hose off the reel to make room for it. I'll show you how that looks. So if you're trying to figure out how do you mount this thing without taking it apart or creating some other bracket or something like that, that's the whole point of this video. The first thing I've done is taken a level and made a level line here on my 6x6. And I found an old set of instructions. I'm doing some wiring out here that actually has a line on it. And the reason I'm using this is I can take the edge of the bracket that's going to align with the line on my 6x6, and I can line it up here. I'll mark the template with a pencil in these holes. Then I'll cut this across the line, and I'll be able to put that paper template level on my line on my 6x6. All right, so I've marked my holes, or marked where my hole locations will be with that pencil. We'll move the reel over so you can see my my 4 dots. I'm gonna take a pair of scissors, cut along across that line, and again, is what I'll line up on the line on my 6x6. Okay, so I've got my template up here. I'm using a screw to hold it because it's not easy for me to hold this still and film at the same time. What I'm gonna do is just get a screw, and I'm gonna poke through the center of my marking there. Oops, sorry for the camera doing that, but I have to move this around. And that's gonna indent in the wood and give me my locations for my holes that I'm gonna drill for these lag screws. All right, so I take this off, and it may not be easy for you to see, but I can see my indentions. And then right there, kind of hard to see for you maybe. But anyways, so since we have a lag screw, I'm gonna find a drill bit that's just a little less than the diameter of this. Go ahead and pre-drill those holes, make this lag screw installation easier. The bit size I've chosen is 15/64. And I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get that to line up just right for you to see it, but to me that looks like right. And I'll actually be drilling the entire depth of the bit. So let's get to it. All right, so looking good so far. Got my holes drilled. And one of the things you'll notice about the hose reel is that the top of the bracket, these are open. So what I'm gonna do is put the top lag screws in with about a 1/4 inch left to spare. I'll slide this up into those 2 lag screws and then put in one of the lag screws on the bottom to help hold it, because the reel's heavy, and that's the way I'm going to do it. So I'll get those top 2 in with about a 1/4 inch to spare, and then I'll put it up there and try to install just one of the bottom ones. All right, so using a 1/2 inch socket, I was able to get these in really fast. You can see about the depth I'm leaving. We'll slide the top of the bracket up and then insert probably a lag bolt here since I'm right-handed. I'm gonna have to get a different wrench just because I'm not gonna be able to get my ratchet up in here. You'll notice I did pull the hose off the reel to give me some more room to work back here. So I'm able to get it in, you know, a couple threads worth of turn to have support on the bottom. And so it's gonna stay there for now until I get a different wrench. But just to show you what I got back here, you can see here, I was able to insert it up underneath those washers on those screws. And then down here, that's what I got right now, but I'll be able to get a wrench under there and get those tightened in snug. All right, got all these lag bolts, or lag screws I should say, snug down. So let's give this guy a little turn here. Nice. Got a lot of strength. And there you go. So one of the things I saw on Amazon is a lot of people added on the connecting hose like I did, but it actually came with a hose to go from the compressor to the reel. So just want to let you guys know that. So pretty happy. If you just take a quick glance at this out of the box, it would seem almost next to impossible to mount, but I think if you follow those instructions, there might be some other techniques on the internet you can use. You'll have you some success. All right, so in the packaging, you get this 3-foot hose with a female end and a male end. And you get this little coupling here, a little connect, you know, with the quick connector and then a nipple. So I think it's real important that you pay attention to the configuration you have on your compressor. So I have a female end here on my valve, which is fine. I'll just take the male end here, screw it in there, no big deal. But then I got a female end here. And what I'm wanting to do is actually have a quick disconnect up here on the reel. That way, if I ever want to wheel my compressor somewhere else, I can just quick detach it and use my old hose for it. The problem is what's shipped is also female, and so you'd have to have a nipple in order for that to work. So fortunately, I had one of these guys around, so I'm gonna just, you know, thread that in there, like so, and then I'll put this on the female end of my hose and have a quick disconnect here. So just one last thing to think about as you're buying this, make sure you have all your connections or you can get a little frustrated thinking you're gonna use this thing straight out of the box. All right, and here's my finished product. You can see I got my quick disconnect there, which allow me to roll my compressor around if I need to, and just follow it in here, put that in there with the valve. And then I got my old hose here, so if I need to wheel this somewhere else and have air, I can. So I know I've kind of said that's the end for the third time, but that is it. Hope that helps.